Welcome to the Frederica Academy Coaches Show with Head Coach Brandon Derrick. Brought to you by Advanced Rehab, H&H Lifestyles, St. Simon Seafood, Urgent Med 1, Golf Cart Wholesale, Parker's, Jessup Furniture Outlet, Yates Astro, and by Locos. Now here is your host, the voice of the Frederica Academy Knights, John Wetzler.
Welcome to the Frederica Academy Coaches Show with Head Coach Brandon Derrick on the Bishop Media Sports Network. I am John Wetzler on location at Locos Grill and Pub, where we have been and will be continuing each week on Wednesday at 7 for the whole season. This segment of the Brandon Derrick Coaches Show is sponsored by Locos Grill and Pub, Urgent Med 1, Advanced Rehab, St. Simon Seafood, H&H Lifestyles, Golf Cart Wholesale, Parker's, Jessup Furniture, and by Yates Astro. And now, joining us on the Head Coach Brandon Derrick Show is Head Coach Brandon Derrick. Coach Derrick?
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm just trying to get ready for the number one team in the state. Always makes you feel good.
Well, you know, thinking about how we as fans can have reasonable expectations for Friday night, I think we can look a little bit and talk a little bit about last Friday, and I think that it can not necessarily predict what's going to happen, but it can give us some evidence to draw some inferences about why we should have a lot of hope and why hopefully the Frederica faithful will make the trek over to Valdosta on Friday night to support us. You know, Tift Area came and was really expected to beat us, and I think a lot of people expected them to beat us, and they were improved actually from last year in terms of some of their skill positions, and their numbers were actually up. We had a dog fight on our hands last year and kind of let the game slip away from us there right towards the end. But Tift Area was, you know, from the press box, I thought that them and Valwood were the most people, other than the state championship game, but that's the most people that we've ever had in a stadium, you know, for Tift. And we had a great game. I mean, we really, I felt like never lost control of the game. So those are reasons why I think we all have hope and we need to be encouraged to go out there and support us as much as we can get over there coming up Friday.
But yeah, you know, the TIFF game, we gave them every opportunity to put us out of the game early on, turning the ball over 4 times in the first 6 possessions, but kind of showed the resilience of our kids. Sometimes I don't know if we know any better because we're so young. They just battled and battled and battled. Defense did a great job putting out the fire a bunch of times, and then we broke the kickoff. Hollis ran the 80-yard kickoff back right there with about 2 minutes left to go in the half, made it 14-7. Then we went out on defense. I played the screen as good as you could play it, and it looked like somebody shot all 3 of our guys, and we fell down, and he broke it for about a 45-yard run, and had one guy run him down, knock him out of bounds, live to play another play. And sure enough, the next play they threw it, we picked it off and got the ball back, and we went 2-minute offense, and with about 4 seconds to go, we drove right down the field, punched it in with about 6 seconds right before the half, and tied it up. And it's kind of a testament to our kids. I told them all week, right now the only team that's beating us is us. It's not what we're doing. It's not what we're calling or what plays we're running or what we're doing on defense. There's a couple lapses here and there on defense where we're not pursuing on the backside or something, but you know, we're a young football team. We're going to make some mistakes early on. I felt more like a psychologist in the first half and a therapist than a coach, talking to the young kids, you know, just keeping them focused, not worrying about it. You got to put what happened behind us and let's go play for the next play. And I thought the kids did a really good job of that, and they responded really well. And it's a testament to the coaches to keep coaching and keep making the adjustments that we had to make. You know, that's my job to go be the psychologist, and the coaches just kept coaching and not panicking, and nobody went berserk on the sideline. They just continued to do their job and praise the kids when we did something right and try to correct it when we did something wrong. So I was very pleased with the way we handled the situation in the first half. And then the second half, the Hog Mollies just took over. The offensive line did what they get paid to do. They lined down and hammered them up front, and Hollis then took over running the football and ran for 200 yards in the second half. And we just dominated the clock, mainly because, one, it was hot and humid and we needed to control the game. And so we slowed down the pace of the game to fit us for personnel reasons, and scored, 20 points in the second half, held them to 6, and just did a good job. I thought Coach Burkett made some great adjustments on defense, and Coach Cannon, it wasn't like, told the kids today, it wasn't like an angel was standing outside the locker room and said, Coach, go to Wishbone in the second half. We kind of figured out what we were doing watching the first half and made some adjustments, and kids did a great job, and that's a testament to them and their will to get it done.
This is the Frederica Academy Coaches Show with head coach Brandon Derrick on the Bishop Media Sports Network. Yeah, I had repressed some of the first half. When I said we never lost control, I forgot about that part.
We didn't lose control. I think some people...
I didn't think we did either. We had one busted play. That number 5 guy was unbelievable athlete. I forget his name.
Mondo West.
Yeah, Mondo West. What a great athlete.
They had a bunch of great athletes. Athlete for athlete, they had some, and I thought our kids matched up well. I think a lot of people thought we had lost control, but honestly, the coaches were very calm, even on the headset. Football's kind of like a game of war. There's bullets flying everywhere. The guy that stays under control and keeps calm, he's usually the one that makes the biggest gains at the end of the night, and I thought our guys stayed calm, made the adjustments. We rotated a lot of people on and off the field Friday night, trying to get people in, keep legs. We had people cramping up. Our biggest challenge coming in on Sunday, I just wrote on the board, we got to get all 31 guys ready to play. It's some form or fashion, they're going to have to play some magnitude of the game. And, and the other thing I wrote on the board is we got to grow up fast. It's kind of like I was telling you before we got on the air, was Friday night may be some of our kids' third high school football game, and they're starting for us. And some of them be on their 13th high school football game. And of course, you got the seniors that's got 30, 35 games in. I thought our 4 seniors, they didn't panic. They weren't yelling and screaming at anybody Friday night when all the chaos was going on. They just kind of rallied everybody, kept their cool, and I think it just shows a lot of character in our kids and our coaching staff and the way we handled the situation. And they just did a good job.
Well, I agree. We were commenting from the box that we felt like from our vantage point we were doing everything right, and we had 2 busted plays in the first half. Basically, is the way we saw it. There really wasn't any kind of domination going on from Tift. As a matter of fact, I felt like we kind of really had more potential to do some dominating than they did. But that's the way it goes. But nobody. It was kind of like our Irk Russell defense. It was bend but don't break, and nobody gave up. And it was a great game, and you could feel that momentum building. And then in the second half, when you came out and just started taking 7 yards, 8 yards, 50 yards, 7 yards, 8 yards, 10 yards. What a great job by the fullback crew there. Rhett Thompson and of course, Cameron McClellan and Rhett kind of tag teaming on that, getting in there, punching it up the middle for 5, 6, 7 yards a clip. You can't go wrong. When you can get 5 or 6 yards and your offensive line is firing off the ball and you're moving it downfield and you're moving the chains and you're taking 8-minute drives and you're up by 2 scores, you can't ask for anything more than that. No. Except for time to move quicker.
Yeah, when it was 28-20 and we got the ball back with 7 minutes and 54 seconds, I said, we've got to be methodical right here, and we just got to line up and hammer them. And I said, if we leave them a minute on the clock, that's fine. But I said, what we need to do is just slowly drive the ball down the field and do our thing. And I said, Coach Cannon, you're going to get 4 downs to get a first down. So just find a way to get 3.5 yards every single time, or 3 yards, and he did an outstanding job. The kids they bought into it. They understood where we were coming from. I think Hollis broke the last one there from about 10 or 11 yards out, and with about a minute to go in the game. And that was a nail in the coffin, But what we just had a lot of kids do a good job Friday night.
Well, Coach, we're going to take a quick break and get back and talk a little bit more about last week and then transition into what to expect coming up at Valwood this Friday night. There's more to come on the Brandon Derrick Coaches Show on the Bishop Media Sports Network. Right now, we're going to take a few words from our sponsors.
It's time to get together with friends and family to enjoy great games, great food, and a great atmosphere at Loco's on St. Simon's Island. Loco's has something for everyone with their classic sandwiches, fresh salads, and specialty burgers. And Loco's award-winning wings, from traditional boneless or slow roasted, means it's time to get your wings on. With football season starting, don't forget to catch the game at Loco's too. Be sure to like Loco's on Facebook to keep up with the latest. Have your friends meet you at the Moose. Tired of waiting hours to get in and out of the ER or can't get in to see your doctor? The wait is over. Urgent Med 1 is a fully functioning urgent care clinic with highly trained professionals, on-site x-ray and labs that will get you in, out, and on with life. Open weekdays 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and weekends 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. or sign in online with ZipPass. Located off exit 36B on Highway 341, look for that MASH Jeep with the big red cross out front, ERGENT Med 1. Drive a few minutes and save a few hours. That back won't stop aching or that knee won't stop throbbing? Your answer is Advanced Rehabilitation and their staff of professionals. Locations in Brunswick and on St. Simon's for your convenience. Go to the place that is trusted by student athletes all over the Golden Isles as well as professional athletes. Advanced Rehabilitation specializes in neuro and orthopedics and will have you back in the game in no time. Find a clinic near you, physicaltherapygeorgia.com. H&H Lifestyles on St. Simon's Island is proud to sponsor this broadcast of the Frederica Academy Knights 2015 football season. From first downs and touchdowns to kickoffs and playoffs, the H&H team will be cheering on the Frederica team. H&H Lifestyles, appliances, bedding, audio, video, electrical, and security. Located in Retreat Plaza on St. Simon's Island. Go Knights! Fresh local seafood on St. Simon's Island. St. Simon's Seafood, located at 2463 Demery Road. In the shops at Demery Plaza next to Loco's, has everything a seafood lover could want. Wild Georgia shrimp, crab cakes, flounder, you name it, and St. Simon's Seafood has it. Seafood so fresh, it was swimming this morning. So stop into St. Simon's Seafood and check them out on Facebook. St. Simon's Seafood, the island's only fresh seafood market.
Welcome back to the Frederica Academy Coaches Show with head coach Brandon Derrick on the Bishop Media Sports Network. I'm John Wetzler on location from Loco's Grill and Pub again. This segment is brought to you by Loco's Grill and Pub, Urgent Med 1, Advanced Rehab, H&H Lifestyles, and by St. Simon's Seafood. Coach, we were talking about first half of the show here, first segment, talking about last week and what a good job. We saw, a lot of good, amazing individual performances. But, one of the things that Jeff Doak and I were talking about as we were calling the game on the radio was just the way that the offensive and defensive line both did such a good job. Just looked like they had the right technique. They had the head on the right side of the block where the ball was coming through. We really were able to move the ball up the middle, I thought, as well as anyone could ask, whether that was a fellow teammate, coach, or a fan. And I got no reason to believe with the way that the size we got and the kind of shape we're in, that if we do those things and continue to exercise the kind of technique that we're exercising, that there's anybody we can't compete against. I'm not saying what's going to happen. I'm just saying we got a shot.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you on that. We have a shot, but we're young, and we got to just continue to keep working. Right now, I'm very impressed with our offensive line. They've done a really good job. We've called on them, and these guys have come out and executed. They were a lot of those guys play both ways, so they flip flop, and we're trying to rotate them in and out. And at one point Friday night, I've looked out there and noticed we've got 2 sophomores, 2 juniors, and a freshman on the offensive line, and sometimes I've got a couple seniors out there in that mix. But, you know, they've done an outstanding job of getting a line surge, like you were talking about, you know, getting the head on the right side and driving the ball. One of the kids that really got a line surge Friday night, and I mean, when he gets going downhill, it's hard to move him out of the way anyway. He weighs about 310 pounds, and he was playing center, and he's really athletic. He did a great job of climbing to the next level. He not only removed the guy at the first level, but he took him to the second level and put the defensive lineman usually into the chest of the linebacker Friday night. That's the reason why the fullback was able to get 12 to 14 yards to pop up the middle. Austin Skelton at center. He just moved over there, you know, right before the scrimmage game 3 weeks ago. And he's been working on getting his snaps and a lot of things. But boy, he was creating a huge line surge, and you could see it up there with our kids. You know, we rotated all of them in. They did a great job. Once they figured out what we were doing, they tried to put some quicker guys in. Our guys up front just really, literally out-muscled them. And you mentioned earlier Rhett and Cameron in there as that fullback / B-back, that what we call the hammerback coming downhill. Man, they were, I don't know if you noticed it, but there were some guys getting turned on their head Friday night. They were actually literally decleating people, and they were enjoying it. I
did notice that, and I did comment on it.
Yeah, and we were just, that's part of the game that we've been trying to emphasize, that weight room, the getting in shape, the being physical. You know, and I was yelling at Friday night. It's big boy football, and that's what we were playing with. We're going to get down in the trenches, and we're going to outman you, and we're going to line up and hit you in the mouth a little bit. I thought our kids responded really well. But, you know, again.
And Brett Mitchell, good gracious.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the clutch catches that he was making just did a great job. I mean, getting hurt out. I mean, you know, just getting licked. I mean, full speed, head hunting assassins after him.
Yep.
And he was worried about catching the football first, and then he's back out there again and he's had some key first down conversions for us, and I think was a catalyst in just getting us. Did a great job.
Yeah, Brent and Luckett have done an outstanding job as possession receivers, being in the right spot at the right time. That 2-minute drive was. It was outstandingly orchestrated, and Gavin did a great job of keeping a few things alive. We had a 4th down play. We had a little bit of pressure off the left side. He stepped up, rolled to the right, dumped it off. Jay Sean picked up the first down by about a yard, and then it was just boom, 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 boom. And Luckett and Brant made some key catches. I'm still yelling.
And downfield blocks, too,
yeah.
You know, after people get in the secondary, and they have enough sense to, you know, get in position to get in the way. Just all you got to do is get a second, half a second.
Right. That's what I told you.
Or a hand on somebody, and that's enough for Hollis to get by anyway.
Yeah, we're physical on the edges, and we have to be physical on the edges because of the skill kids that we try to use, and Brant and Luckett have bought into it. They try to beat people up. Sean Katai does a good job. Chris Myrick does a good job. Jalen and all of them that go in. They're very solid, beating people up out there. And when the ball's thrown to them, they catch it. And then they block for one another.
Yeah,
you know, it's not like they don't catch and watch and cheer the guy home. They catch and try to get over there and make a block. And they've done a good job.
They don't go out for passes and throw their hands up and go, I was open.
Right.
They go block somebody.
Right. And
I got to take a little break, Coach, because I was running a little behind the last one. But we will be right back to the Frederica Academy Coaches Show with Head Coach Brandon Derrick on the Bishop Media Sport.
Looking to make your life more fun? Then check out GCW Carts. With top-of-the-line carts like Easy Go, Bad Boy, and Cushman, you can cruise the island or just around the neighborhood in style. Need to rent a cart? GCW Rental rents carts for long or short-term use, and they make it easy by delivering your cart to you and picking it up when you're finished. So remember, for brands like Easy Go, Bad Boy, and Cushman, visit GCW Carts in Brunswick at the corner of Cypress Mill Road and the Spur, or call 912-434-4601. Great food, snacks, and the best selection of energy drinks in the Golden Isles? Parker's. A day outdoors? Coolers, suntan oil, beach chairs, ice? Parker's. Fresh fruit cups, salads, and Dippin' Dots? Parker's. Get your Pump Perks card and start saving on every gallon of gas today at Parker's. www.parkersga.com, a proud supporter of Frederica Athletics. Parker's, and let's go Knights. Looking for top quality furniture at prices that blow away the competition? Jessup Furniture Outlet. Ashley, Universal, Bassett, Lexington, and so many more. Jessup Furniture offers delivery and 12-month interest-free financing, located at 651 Scranton Road next to Old Times, or give Jessup Furniture a call, 912-267-1897. Also, find Jessup Furniture on Facebook. Jessup Furniture, your top quality furniture outlet that won't break your budget. You might not believe this fun football fact from Yates Astro Termite and Pest Control. In 1935, halfback Jay Haynes, for the University of Washington, scored all the points on both sides of the ball. He ran for 1 touchdown and was hit for a safety. The final score was 6-2. Yates Astro is on offense and defense in ridding your home of termites and protecting you from future invasion. Call Yates Astro. They've been protecting area homes and businesses since 1928.
Welcome back to the Frederica Academy Coaches Show with head coach Brandon Derrick on the Bishop Media Sports Network. I'm John Wetzler on location at Loco's Grill and Pub. This segment is brought to you by Parker's, Golf Cart Wholesale, Yates Astro, and by Jessup Furniture. All right, Coach, well, I think everybody was very proud of the whole team effort. Everyone played like a team. You gave them the Gene Hackman Hoosier speech again at halftime, obviously, and it's good. And so let's talk about next week. We got to play a team with, what do they got, 60 kids on the team or what?
They're roughly around 55, 60 kids. They're close to 50 to 60. They got a big roster. They got a bunch of kids. It's a really good football program. Deep in tradition. They've been in the state Final Four and the state championship the last 3 or 4 years. Just a really good team, good program, good coaching staff. It's going to be a challenge for us.
Well, now as far as if we were to compare Valwood from the personnel side on the team, I know they had a guy last year played tight end that's out there playing on Saturdays now for Virginia. Is that right?
He's at Rutgers,
yeah. And they had a bunch of other guys that looked like they're probably playing somewhere as well. I didn't keep up with them too much because I don't hang out in Valdosta, but I'm sure they had some other kids that are participating in the game of football on Saturdays now. How do they really compare personnel-wise in terms of they had some outstanding talent to go around last year. Are they reloaded?
Yeah, they reloaded. Their offensive and defensive lines are very deep. They're strong. That's what they're putting on their stock in that offensive and defensive line. They do a good job. I mean, that offensive line they got is pretty good. Their quarterback, he's a new kid, but he is a running threat. So it's been a challenge for us this week because you got to play all 11 men.
Got to contain those ends.
Yeah, and the big thing is, that free safety or whatever, you usually when you play a team with quarterback, you got a man advantage, so you got a half man on either side of the ball that you can have a half man advantage. This week it's 11 on 11, and so we've had to tweak a few things, but I think the kids have done a good job. We've got a lot of checks. They've been really focused on getting everything together. The biggest thing for us is we got to practice outside for 2 days in a row. Last week it was in the gym or watching film, but then the only time we really got to do anything was on Thursday, and it was in the rain and the mud and the muck. But this week was pretty good to go outside. But Valwood's a very solid football team up front. It's going to be the best offensive line we've seen. We'll be a talented quarterback, got some really talented receivers, solid running game. Defensively, they're good up front on defense, got some pretty good linebackers. Their corners are really solid. Middle of the field, we're going to try to do a few things, but overall they're just top to bottom a very, very good team. They're going to be one that we're going to see. It's probably going to be in the Final Four. I hope we're right there with them, but it's going to be a great measuring stick for us.
This is the Frederica Academy Coaches Show with Brandon Derrick on the Bishop Media Sports Network. Yeah, you know, Coach, I have no doubt, having come to see 7-on-7 and knowing what exactly is going on behind the scenes, that it's not a situation where you guys are just doing enough to make it look like you're playing high school football. I mean, you've got these kids are buying in from you know, really from middle school program all the way through. It's really sort of a family symbiotic relationship that's developing this sort of attitude of complete and total dedication if you want to be on the team, and I think we can all sense it. But we can't afford this week. My diagnosis is we can win if we don't work against ourselves. You know, and I'm not talking about anybody getting blame or anything like that. I'm just saying, you know, we can't have the kind of, you know, jitters and all that other kind of stuff that a lot of these fellas have had to, you know, worry about. We've been out there, we've been on the battlefield, and we can beat Valwood, but it seems to me if we're going to do it, we got to play mistake-free football. We can't afford to turn the ball over, and everybody's just got to do their job.
Well, yeah, we can't have 4 turnovers, and I told the kids that. But, you know, end of the night, if you do make a mistake, you got to get back up and go play. You got to play the next play. And really, that's what I've told the kids. You can't sit and dwell on what just happened in the past. Get up, go battle, you know, live and play the next play. And I think, you know, from our standpoint as a coaching staff, our goal is just to get the kids ready every single play to make a play. And when you're an opportunity, when it happens to be there, make it, you know. And but our kids have bought into it.
Forget about the last play. If there's a mistake. Right. It's a brand new universe. Right. Every single time you got to shake it off. That's difficult, you know, especially when you're in a big game with a big crowd. There's probably not going to be a bigger crowd that we've been in front of than we'll be in front of Friday night. I mean, seriously. I mean, it's going to be a massive crowd, and that can be distracting.
It's going to be a big crowd. It's going to be loud. It's going to be a challenge. Again, you know, we never know what we're going to get. My dad said it a long time ago. I was the craziest guy in America to put my career in the hands of 14-year-olds through 18-year-olds. Anybody that's a football coach that puts their career in the hands of teenagers is crazy. But, you know, I love it at the end of the day. I love those kids. And if they make a mistake, I'm not going to throw them under the bus and do anything like that. I'm just going to
Nick Saban on them.
No, I'm just going to put my arm around them and give them a hug and say, hey, we'll go get the next one. And, you know, that's kind of our role right now. It's high school football. We want to go win and we want to go compete, but we want to have fun doing it. And this group's, they're pretty loose. You know, I tell them all the time, play loose, play fast, and have fun. You go into the locker room, the lights are turned out, the music's screamed up, they're all in there dancing and jumping around, and you know, mistake-free football. We harp on it every day. Doing the little things, stand on blocks, and but when you're playing, go play, have fun, make plays, and this group of kids have just been outstanding. Like you said, they've committed to the cause. We bought in. We're all in right now. And
I mean, why play the game? It's too hard if you ain't gonna just give it your all. And I think we see that. I mean, we see that they're overcoming. I mean, at some point you got to admit football is hard.
Yeah.
You know, football is a pain.
It is.
And anybody that says otherwise is got problems bigger than being a football player.
Yeah.
You know, it's a hard game to play, but if you're gonna do it, might as well just give it 100%, and that's what I'm seeing. I mean, I see that we're making progress. Right. I think we did a great job last year, but I think we're moving forward.
Yeah, and you know, it's what I tell them too is football's like life. It's gonna be hard. And you're gonna wake up every day and somebody cater to you. It's gonna be a challenge every single day, and it teaches life lessons. You know, at every turn of the corner of football, there's a lot of things I rely on, and I'm sure you do, from our past careers and what we've learned not only in high school, but what we learned in college and what we learned on the field.
Mom and him.
And yeah, you know, there's days that I'm happy-go-lucky. There's days that we're gonna batten down the hatches, and it's gonna get crazy out there. And there's, you know, today everybody kind of laughed. I wasn't yelling and screaming yesterday. I was yelling and screaming, but I think the kids are starting to understand what we're trying to do, and it makes it a whole lot easier, But as we go, and I know, you make mistakes, and just try to fix it, correct it, and move forward as best you can do. And the kids are doing an outstanding job, but they've bought into winning, and they like it. It's contagious. Winning and losing, it's the same thing. It can be very contagious, and right now, they just keep finding ways to win, and I just keep grinning. That's what I tell everybody. I don't say a whole lot about it. We just keep grinning and don't share the secret with anybody. We're going to be all right.
Well, we're proud of you, Coach. We're proud of all the coaches, Coach Cannon, and everybody that's out there with you. All of the coaches. All of a sudden, my mind went blank. But I'm terrible with names. However, and the players are doing a great job, and we're all very proud to see and can feel the excitement out there. So, any of y'all here still vacillating about whether to make the trip? We could use you out there, and I can't wait, Coach. I will see you Friday night, and we are out of time, and look forward to hopefully a injury-free, exciting game where everybody just simply does the very best we can.
That's all I'm going to ask. I'll ever ask them. All I want's all you got, and that's what my kids usually go out and do. So
that'll work.
That's our motto when we go out.
Well, thanks again, Coach. Enjoyed it, and thank everybody that's here, and thank everybody who's listening online for joining us on the Frederica Academy Coaches Show with Brandon Derrick on the Bishop Media Sports Network. Come out to Loco's Grill and Pub here on St. Simon's, right here on Demery. On the right-hand side, as you come off the causeway and come around, it's on the right-hand side of Demery. Come and join us on Wednesday nights for the rest of the season at 7 o'clock for the Brandon Derrick Coaches Show. Signing off, I'm John Wetzler.